So my name is Bob Moran. I'm the president of Charleston Tennis LLC. Kind of covers three different areas. One being the tennis event that happens annually every April. The day-to-day business we run as a tennis center, and then the special event business, which is the concerts and events we run in the stadium. Through 2019, our fan base continued to grow. Things were getting better. Volvo came on board as a partner of ours and took over as a title sponsor and of the stadium, and that was a great step for us, a local company having their manufacturing plant here in Charleston, and having them involved was a big step for us. I'd say another big step through those years was moving from ESPN to Tennis Channel. And what that meant for us was really going from 7 hours of live coverage of our event to a full week coverage. From first ball to last ball, we basically had 60 hours of live coverage and another 75 plus of repeat coverage. Those things were big changes for us. It allowed us to grow, allowed us to increase our exposure, not just locally, nationally, but globally. And things were really taking a good turn. I'd say September 2018 is when a local entrepreneur, Ben Navarro, purchased our entity and was really excited about that. Local ownership, he loves tennis, his family loves tennis, and he loves music. So the two things we do really well here, tennis and music. So having someone like Ben come on board was just so exciting for us. Someone who wanted to invest in the sport, invest in the facilities, and help continue the growth that we've been seeing. So we had a great year in 2019, one of our best years ever. And we were 3 weeks out in 2020. I'll never forget, it was early March, and Indian Wells had an issue, and they canceled the day before their tournament started. And normally the schedule goes 2 weeks in Indian Wells, 2 weeks in Miami, Charleston. And I was sitting in this room when that phone call came and told me the Indian Wells was canceling, which was a complete shock, but not totally unexpected. At that moment, though, I'm looking out the window here and I see we're doing construction over here. I've got construction of tents and facilities going over here. I immediately put a stop to it, just because we had to, because we didn't know it was coming. And then unfortunately, we ended up having to cancel probably a week later. And we looked at every possibility. Could we do it limited fans? Could we do it without fans? We tried to do everything, but I would say the tipping point for us is when they close borders, and our players are international. They're not very, maybe 10% are U.S. players. The rest are from overseas. They needed to get home. And so once they were closing borders, the WTA just basically said at that moment in time, if you want to get home, the time is now. And that just really set the tone for us. In 19, we had to cancel. Or in 20, I'm sorry, we had to cancel. Well, 2021 was fun for us to actually have an event. I wish we had fans. We had a limited amount of fans. We actually took on two events. We did a women's 500, followed that by a women's 250, and did that just made for TV. Number one, Ben Navarro, our owner, basically said, hey, how do we support players in this time? And that was easy for us to do, to have an event. We had the facilities built. So 2021 was fun for us to actually have players back in our, in our home, what I call it, and executing an event. It went really well. The TV looked great, and we had some unbelievable players here. Number one, Ash Barty had her first experience here and was really blown away. At the same time we're doing all that, we're renovating our stadium. And we made that decision in 2020. It was something we were looking at probably for 2022, to be honest, but knowing that we were not gonna have any events, concerts, tennis, we decided to start earlier. So as we're operating the tennis for those 2 weeks, we also were renovating the stadium. So excited to have the 2021 event, but really excited about what's coming in 2022. This is 50 years of tennis in the state of South Carolina. It's pretty impressive, right? That we've sustained that for that long in this state. So we're excited. We're gonna have a brand new stadium. We have a new title sponsor in Credit One Bank, which is fantastic, and it's 50 years of tennis. Those are three great things that we're really looking forward to promoting and getting behind. And what we're seeing in the ticket office is people are excited to get back. We're doing really, really well. And that's the unknown. How would people react to coming back? And kind of the key indicators for me are volunteers are really excited. We heard from our volunteer coordinator this week. She said people are ready to get back, and it's 2 years without volunteers too. Not just fans, volunteers, and people who operate this event with us. So players, ticket holders, volunteers are all excited to get back, which makes us excited. And to really showcase the new stadium is beyond, because it's going to be state of the art. It's going to be what I consider probably the best tennis facility around, without question. So for years, we've executed this event by building a lot of temporary facilities, be it player facilities, be it the press, be it food and beverage, be it really anything that we do to operate. So we looked at what our pain points were and how we could improve, right? Because players don't have to come here. That's number one. We have to make sure their experience is a great one and they want to come back. Charleston's a great backdrop, don't get me wrong, but you need the facilities to support it. So number one, we built a 75,000 square foot building that will house 3 floors that will house all player services. So when a player comes here, now all they have to do is, when they're not playing tennis, they have one building to execute, which is they have their medical in one building. We built brand new locker rooms, brand new gym, medical facilities, treatment facilities, all on one floor. So our welcome area, they come in and they know where they are. The second floor is going to be our commissary. So we do all of our cooking in-house now, and we have a great partner in Spectrum that's going to be doing all of our catering. And on that same floor is my media center. It's our media interview space, and then it's overlooking center court. So it's a tennis channel commentating space, our production space, all the things again that I would have to bring in temporary. And then the third floor is a spectacular for tennis, excuse me, will be our player dining experience overlooking center court. And I don't think there's too many places across the globe where the players will have what I consider one of the best views in tennis. When you see it, you'll understand. So players will have their dining, their press, their media, their health and wellness, racket stringing, you name it, it's all in one place, in a beautiful place, to say the least. And as part of that, we have a roof that comes off the top of that, and that roof serves 2 purposes. It's going to provide a great shaded area for tennis that we've never had before, but it also serves as the roof for our concert and special events that we do in the house. We are increasing capacity for tennis to about 11,000, and then for concerts to about 11,000, which is significant for us. We are currently at 7,500 for concerts, and really we're going to get to about 11,500 for concerts, 4,000 new seats. We're totally enclosing the inner bowl. And then what we also did was just knock out all the bathrooms and everything that was on the bottom floor, put 16 new permanent suites in there. We increased the bathroom capacity by 135% by adding more everywhere, new concessions, new everything. So it's really 20 years later, 21 years later, a brand new facility that when we built it in 2000, it's pretty much a brand new facility that we're going to open in 2022. When I look at it, I was handed an event, like I said, 12 years ago, and I feel a high level of responsibility for that. When you look at American tennis over the years, when I started in this business, when you looked at the amount of women's tennis events in the United States, we were at 12, 13 events, and we're down to 5, 6 events. So the responsibility was keep this going, make sure that we keep growing it, make sure that the level of experience that we provide is the right one. Make sure the players still enjoy coming here, and continue to grow our fan base. And we do that year in and year out. So I was handed something to continue and hopefully grow, which I felt like I have. And the team here has been here with us for 20 years, and they have. So I think all of those things go into play that make this special.